India, the land of spices, snake charmers and curry. When we picture it today, we think of dusty roads, corrupt politicians, angry uneducated farmers, religious zealots and slums filled with rubbish and human waste. Believe it or not, they were once the real deal. A civilization that was ahead of its time in so many ways. We're talking about a time when India was a beacon of knowledge, wealth and innovation. Their cities were bustling hubs of trade and culture. They gave the world the concept of zero, yoga and even shampoo. These contributions have shaped the modern world in ways we often take for granted. You're welcome, world. Remember the Gupta Empire? They were like the rock stars of ancient India. Their reign marked a golden age of prosperity and cultural development. They had gold, they had art, they had science. Basically everything you need for a killer Instagram feed. Imagine the likes they would get today. They even had universities when the rest of the world was still figuring out indoor plumbing. These institutions were the envy of the world. But seriously, ancient India was a force to be reckoned with. They were at the forefront of mathematics, astronomy and medicine. Their scholars made groundbreaking discoveries that laid the foundation for future advancements. Their universities attracted scholars from far and wide, eager to soak up all that sweet, sweet knowledge. It was a melting pot of ideas and innovation. They were like the Silicon Valley of our time, except with less hoodies and more elephants. The intellectual energy was palpable. So, what happened? How did they go from being global leaders to, well, whatever it is they are now? The decline was gradual but impactful. Buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy and hilarious ride. Let's dive into the twists and turns of our historical journey. Let's face it, statistically speaking, modern India is a bit like that friend who peaked in high school. They've got a lot of potential, but sometimes they just can't seem to get their act together. Don't believe me? Let's look at the numbers, shall we? According to the World Bank, India's GDP per capita in 2023 was around $2,300. That's lower than some countries you've probably never even heard of. The World Bank also estimated their poverty levels at a staggering 80%. And don't even get me started on their ranking in the Human Development Index. They're still lagging behind countries they used to be light years ahead of, but hey, it's not all doom and gloom. They've got over 1.4 billion mouths to feed. Maybe they should stop making babies and start growing their productivity. But at least they're a vibrant democracy with a thriving Bollywood film industry. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not talking about the ones used in ancient Indian warfare. One of the main reasons India went from top of the world to please stop invading us is their unfortunate habit of getting conquered. This pattern of invasions and conquests has shaped much of their history and culture. It all started with the good old Aryans, who waltzed in from Central Asia and decided to stick around. Then came the Persians, who brought their own influences and left their mark on India. The Greeks came and introduced new ideas and blended their culture with theirs. And a whole host of other empires, each leaving their own unique mark, and by mark I mean taking their stuff. These invasions brought new technologies, art and architecture, but also a lot of turmoil. By the time the British showed up, they were basically the historical equivalent of that one house on the block that everyone throws a party at because the owners are out of town. The British, with their advanced naval power and strategic cunning, saw India as a jewel in their crown. The British East India Company, a bunch of guys who basically invented corporate colonialism, saw a golden opportunity and took it. They established trade routes and slowly took control of the entire subcontinent. They were like, we'll take some tea and spices, and oh yeah, the entire country while we're at it. Their control over India's resources and economy was absolute. Centuries of foreign rule took their toll, leaving India economically and politically drained. The British exploited their resources, leading to widespread poverty and social unrest, all because India was too weak to resist. It's like that feeling you get after a really intense game of cricket, except instead of just being tired, you're also missing a few jewels in your national identity. The struggle for independence was long and arduous, but it eventually led to the birth of a new, free India. After gaining independence in 1947, you'd think India would be all set to reclaim its former glory, right? Well, not so fast. Instead of unleashing the full potential of their economy, they decided to create the License Raj, a bureaucratic masterpiece so complex and convoluted that it would make Kafka proud. Imagine needing a government permit to manufacture literally anything, from cars to biscuits. That was the License Raj in a nutshell. It was like trying to run a marathon while wading through a pool of paperwork and red tape. Unsurprisingly, this economic system stifled innovation and entrepreneurship. It was like trying to grow a mango tree in a closet. The License Raj was finally dismantled in the 1990s, but its legacy of bureaucratic inefficiency still lingers like the smell of too much curry. Make in India? More like wait in India. They invented zero, but their infrastructure needs ones and twos. India today is a land of contrasts. They've got gleaming skyscrapers next to ancient temples and sprawling slums and cutting-edge technology alongside bullock carts. It's like someone hit the shuffle button on history and India got stuck on random. Their infrastructure is a perfect example of this. They've got a few of the best roads in the world right next to some of the most pothole-ridden death traps you've ever seen. Holes big enough for a Bengal tiger to hide. It's like playing a real-life game of Mario Kart, except the bananas are replaced with cows and the green shells are just angry auto-rickshaw drivers shouting profanity in Hindi. And don't even get me started on their public transportation system. Taking a train in India is an adventure in itself. It's like a cross between a mosh pit and a family reunion, with a dash of existential dread thrown in for good measure. Cows on the road, chaos in the air. Only in India, folks. Let's talk about some of the things that make India, well, India. It's a land of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern chaos. First up, they've got cows. Lots of them. These gentle giants roam freely, often causing traffic jams and amusing encounters. They're considered sacred, which is all well and good, but it does make driving a bit interesting. Imagine navigating through a bustling city and suddenly having to stop because a cow has decided to take a nap in the middle of the road. Imagine cruising down the highway and having to slam on your brakes because a cow decides it's time for a leisurely stroll. Then there's the noise. It's not just the cows that make the streets lively. India is a symphony of honking horns, Bollywood music and the constant hum of life, and people shouting at each other. It's a cacophony that somehow blends into a harmonious melody. It's like a constant party, with every street corner offering a new adventure, a new story, even when you're just trying to buy groceries. The markets are a sensory overload with vibrant colors, tantalizing smells, and the hustle and bustle of daily life. Don't get me wrong, it's all part of the charm, and it's something that stays with you long after you've left. But it can be a bit overwhelming for the uninitiated. The sheer energy of the place can be both exhilarating and exhausting. It's like living inside a Bollywood movie where every moment is larger than life, except the dances aren't as well choreographed. Smells of excrement fill the street. Random angry people shout at you, and there's a random cow in front of you. It's complicated like that samosa filling. India is a land of contradictions, a place where ancient traditions meet modern challenges head-on. They've got a very rich history, a vibrant culture, and a knack for finding humor in even the most chaotic of situations. They've also got their fair share of problems, but hey, who doesn't? So the next time you think of India, don't just think of call centers and curry. Think of a country trying to change for the better. Just don't expect it to happen overnight. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.